Good morning, guys. How's everyone doing? Chest to the sun. That's absolutely correct. Make sure everything's working here. All right. I'm almost positive we got Octavian and Esteban, which are potential just bots, but we'll see what happens. We'll see if there's more comments about Ape Coin in the chat. I don't know if they're legit or not. Just to let everyone know, while we're doing this live stream, I will have the Bahrain F1 practice up. So if I look over to my right, that is what I am looking at. Just to let everyone know. That is, I am very, very excited for that this weekend. So good morning, guys. How's everyone doing? Morning, morning. Morning, Kasim. We got YT back on the stream. Hopefully he comes today. I accidentally hid him from the channel, but I removed it yesterday, so hopefully he does show up. YT, if you're there, let me know. All right, let's go ahead and get started. So, free YT. Let's see if he's here. Hopefully he pops in. Hopefully he didn't get removed. So today we'll have to see how we hold up. I think that's going to be the key today, guys. How do we hold up? Does this market hold up? Obviously, we're getting a little pullback this morning. It is Friday. It's going to be very interesting. There's definitely reason for both sides, right? We are basically right in the middle of either holding or coming right back down. So 14,000 I think is going to be a big level. I think 14 yesterday's highs around 14.1 are going to be huge. And then we'll have to see yesterday's lows. So we'll talk all about it today, but there's definitely some major levels that we have to watch. And do we hold up? It's going to be a very interesting day, I believe. So today's quad witching, just mean there's going to be a lot of volatility, guys. You might get just a lot of up and down, really quick volatility. So just be careful there. It's never I read a lot about quad witching because everyone always talks about it, and I've read countless articles and studies on it, and there's never they said there's no real correlation between a quad witching day and a red day. They have no evidence or back testing of it actually meaning it's red. I think a lot of people sort of associate quad witching with a really ugly red day, but that is just not the case. So that's at least what I've read, from people that have made studies on it. So we'll see if it's true or not. Obviously we could end red because of that. But that is, that's just going to cause a lot of volatility today, I believe. A lot of options, expirations, a lot of expirations everywhere. So let's go ahead and take a look at today. I think it's going to be a interesting day. So if you guys want to know what quad witching is, it's when you have a lot of expiration. I think you have futures expirations. Here you go. So you have a lot of. Here we go. So right here, when derivatives expire, so it's index futures contracts expiring, single stock options, options on stock future indexes, and stock index options. So you have all these expiring today, all the futures, all the derivative contracts. Options are a derivative, right? Oh, YT's back. There he is. Sorry about that yesterday, YT. So stock, everything, all these derivatives expire today, which means there has to be a lot of position moving. So you either have to, get out, move it later, close your position. So it's a lot of orders, a lot of potential volume, a lot of potential volatility. That's what quad witching means, guys. Basically, it just means everything's expiring. So that's that. Swing ideas. We'll talk a little bit about some stuff today. Beautiful weather in Tampa today. Should be the same in Orlando, right? I don't know. I don't know. It looks pretty nice here in Naples, Florida. All right, let's get started. So futures, that's going to be huge, guys. Let's look at futures. Let's really zone in on this. Obviously, you can watch my video yesterday. I made a little video about my feeling on the macro and technical side of things. I want to reiterate, that was not, I'm not right now bullish or bearish in either direction, guys. It's a lot of things, a lot of people jump to conclusions. So I'm definitely just trying to, yesterday's video was trying to just give people an idea of my mindset, my thoughts right now. However that's taken, it is what it is. But that's sort of what yesterday's video's purpose was. So if you want to see a more in-depth video of sort of what I'm thinking, then you can go ahead and check that video out. So futures, earnings, economic calendar, I'm not really going to focus on that today. I don't think there's much. I mean, yesterday we had GameStop and FedEx report earnings. Today's really nothing. And economic calendar, I don't think we have jobs report today. We have anything today? Not really. Existing home sales. So I don't think we have to focus too much on that today. So let's skip that. NVIDIA, big day yesterday for NVIDIA. Very close to that downtrend we talked about on the daily chart. So this is going to be quite interesting. Tesla above the 20 SMA. The Tesla closed above the 20 SMA for the first time in a very long time yesterday. So that's interesting. Looks like there's some debris on the track. Can Baba continue? That's something I'm definitely watching. As you guys know, China came out and said they're going to fully support their market with QE. Does that help Baba, Baidu, JD, Neo, all those names? Does it help those continue here? We'll have to see. Major Square resistance. There's a resistance on Square that's up until around the 130, 131 level, and that is going to be big. I think it's an important level to watch. XLF stayed strong yesterday. Banks were strong again. Costco's been crazy, nearing all-time highs. All the way up towards all-time highs. Costco very close, so that's something I want to watch. PayPal, higher high. That's very close to a potential resistance as well. Want to keep an eye on that. And then finally, Upstart. So yesterday, guys, I took an Upstart trade. Had a really nice setup. Put it all in the chat. Took a really nice trade. I want to share with you guys just a little experience. I got stopped out early, and the trade ended up working beautifully. But I figured I would share that experience with you guys here today. So that's going to be the schedule. Hold on, guys. I got to check one thing here. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. So, NASDAQ. Daily chart. So we can see here, guys, on the NASDAQ daily chart, we had that 13,000 level, right? So right here, support, 13,000, that's a level that went ahead and held. So if we look at this, we can see that we had resistance, and right here, we went ahead and got through yesterday, right? So we got through this level here yesterday, right here, we got above the 20 SMA, and we held above it. So today, I think the goal of today is to go ahead and see if we can go ahead and hold that 20 SMA. Can we hold above that level today? I think that is going to be the most important thing to watch. So let's see if that happens. That's something that I'm going to be very focused on. That's right around 13,700. So 13,700, 13,750, right in that area. I want to go ahead and see if we hold above that level. So that's something I'd watch today, the 20 SMA. And then also, if we break it down to the 4-hour, we can see that we are sort of coming up into this previous resistance right around this whole area around 14,000. There's a lot of levels up here that we need to be careful of. So it's still not quite enough for me to be bullish. Hold on, guys. I got to deal with this real quick. Okay, so 14,000, this 14,004 area, that's going to be huge, right? That's like this pivot high that I need to watch out for right here. So 14,004 right up here. You guys can see we did get a push, but we definitely did not get enough. We're not there just enough for me to be extremely confident on this move. So this is the area that I'm definitely focused on. Right up here around 14,400, 14,380. That is a big level that I want to see get a push above. So that's, if we get that today, which I'd be very surprised, but if we do, I think that's a great thing for next week. I don't know if we're going to get there. I think that looks a little bit tough. So that's what I'm watching today, right around this 14.4 up here on the NASDAQ. I think we need to get above that. If we do not, this has it has every reason to go back lower. Honestly, I mean, I think we could all envision that little push, start to fail, come right back over. I think the only way you don't see that is if we hold these previous resistance levels right around this 13.8 right here. 13.8, this was previous support or previous resistance, and I think we need to see that hold. Resistance, resistance, resistance. We did a little break and retest, and if that holds today, I think that's a positive. If that breaks back down, then I think you're right back to where we started, right? So I want to see a 13.8 hold. I want to see a 20 SMA hold on the daily and see if we can just continue to push higher. All right, ES. Very similar type of analysis here. So daily chart, 20 SMA. We did close above it. You guys can see right here. Closed above the 20. And I would like to see that hold. That's right around 4,300. So that's a big level for me. 4,300. Would like to see the 20 hold. Next, you can see right around 44, we have a little bit of a double top. So 4,400, if I go to the 4-hour chart, right here at 44, you guys can see right here, resistance, resistance. You can see that we are sort of hitting a double top right in this level. So this is huge. This is potentially where we pull back, right? This is potentially maybe we get a break and retest of this 43. But this resistance looks very tough up here, guys. So let's be careful there. 44, resistance, resistance. We'll have to see if we can hold that. So that is what I would be watching. Resistance, resistance, 44 on the ES. Can we get above that? If we can, which would be quite surprising. If we can, that would be a pretty big move in my opinion. I mean, to see the market break out of that would be definitely interesting, or at least something to note. It's something noteworthy if we were to get over that 44. So let's watch that on the ES. And then on the YM. The YM got above this level, which is quite interesting, right? Can the Dow be a little bit stronger here? I mean, it would make sense to me. You guys can see right here, the Dow was actually able to get over this previous high right here, guys. You can see we got over the previous high. And do we hold it as support? That's going to be the big watch, right around 34,000. So 34,000 is on watch on the Dow. If we go to the daily chart, we can see it is above the 20 by quite a bit. And you got over this previous resistance point right here. So watch the 50. Dow definitely stronger. Russell getting near that 2100. So you guys know if you come to this live stream, that's really what I'm waiting for. Do we get the 2100 move? That is what I am waiting for. So guys, to recap the futures, it's Friday. We really shouldn't be going crazy today. Maybe some short-term 0 DTE scalps if that's something you're familiar with. We'll see if there's any more upside on this market. There is definitely some, YM is the Dow Jones. There's definitely some reasons to watch out for upside, but there's definitely still a lot of resistance above that we need to be careful of. So let's do that. Let's be careful. Let's keep an eye on these futures. Let's make sure we watch key levels. That is my plan today. NVIDIA. You guys can see here on NVIDIA, we have a 245 resistance level that was broken yesterday. And I've been sort of watching this daily chart, and you can see we're sort of getting into that. It depends on how you draw this downtrend. But yesterday was somewhat of a breakout. Not something I'm going to go ahead and trust too large, but it's somewhat of a breakout yesterday above the 50 SMA. And And that is a watch, right? It's a watch. I don't want to get bullish because I know there's so many things going out, about the market right now. But 1 second. I'm dealing with someone that has my vehicle on Turo. All right. So you have all these resistance levels that on this downtrend, and yesterday we got a little interesting push above the 50 SMA, above the 20 SMA. Is there more to this move? That's going to totally depend on the NASDAQ, in my opinion, guys. Unfortunately, the NASDAQ can easily bring this right back down. You did get sort of above some of this resistance around here at 244, 245, but it's just a little bit tough. It's a little bit early. However, I wanted to bring this up to you guys for us to all keep an eye on this because this could be an opportunity. Now, when I'm cautious about something like this, I'm more referring to options. I'm referring to taking option plays because they're more volatile and any downside can really affect you. When I look at this chart on the daily and I think about shares, that's something that I'm much more confident in, right? I mean, buying shares, knowing that there's this nice level down here around 210, possibly starting to see maybe just at least a hold. Maybe even if we do come back, at least a little bit more confidence on maybe the fact that we can hold above 210. It's a nice area to start. It's a nice area to start, dipping your toes in. It's down 37% from the highs, and it's a pretty nice discount. So NVIDIA is looking interesting. Definitely looking interesting, and I would be watching the potential for a little bit of a break here. So just wanted to share this with you guys. I think that's an interesting chart. Tesla. So Tesla, look at this little 20 SMA bounce, guys. This is very interesting to me. Can Tesla continue again today? It definitely, it's definitely interesting. You can see a big candle right through the 20. This is the first time we are able to close above the 20 since early January. You can see rejections all along here. And then finally yesterday, we had a very nice candle through that 20 SMA. So does this continue? Does this cause more continuation? That is what's going to be on my watch today. Can Tesla catch that fire again after closing above the 20 SMA? Maybe we have room up to the 50, which is right around 900. This is something that's very interesting and definitely something I would be watching today, guys. Nice 20 SMA candle. Look at that candle right through the 20 on the daily chart. I like it quite a bit. The only thing that is concerning me is this big 880 level. This is a huge 880 level on Tesla, and this is an area that you need to be very careful of. So if we get through 880 today, that would be pretty huge. You guys can see this is a very big resistance level. So an 880 break, I think, sends you higher and sends you on that continuation. But that is something that needs to be you got to be patient on that. 880 looks pretty tough. BABA. So can BABA continue? I've been watching this all week, just seeing if we can get more continuation. Not all week, over the last 2 days. I don't know why I said all week. So big push on Wednesday, right? Little pullback yesterday. We're starting to hold up here. Do we get another move? The Asian markets were green, I believe. Yeah, just about. Not much. I think just about. Not too much on the Asian markets today, overnight. So we'll see if that helps BABA at all. But we'll see, guys. I'm definitely keeping an eye on BABA. You're starting to maybe reject the 20 here. You can see right here the 20 SMA is sitting right around 101. And you can see we're starting to try to reject that. So that's something I'm definitely watching. There still is a gap fill down below. So if we do get weak, there could be a very nice gap fill trade down to around 80. So that is something to watch. But I do want to just continue off. So I'm keeping an eye. BABA's right around $100. I think 100 is a pretty important break. Would like to see it above 100. Yesterday it sort of just did nothing, to be quite honest. It went lower in the morning, came right back, and sort of closed just about, a little bit red, maybe 1%, 0.5% red. So that's interesting. That's something I'm watching today. Square. All right, guys, Square. So you guys can see here, Square is coming into a very interesting little channel. It is in a little channel that is, I think, quite. It has potential for a breakout, in my opinion. That's if the market's strong, right? That's totally if the market is strong, which it could very well not be. So this could either be a really nice breakout or a very nasty triple top. So this is just an interesting area on the chart, and that's why I bring it up. I'm not biased either direction here, but this is definitely getting interesting. You can see big push on Square right off the support. Congrats if anyone caught this. I mean, that's a monster swing trade over the last 3 days. So right off the support too. So if you're just trading this channel, this was a fantastic trade. Let's see if we reject. Do we reject, or is this the breakout, right? This is just a big thing to watch. I'm not quite sure. This is all going to depend on the market, but you are coming into a huge level here on Square, up around 130, 131. So keep an eye on that, 130, 131. Can Square get through? If it does, guys, I mean, this is the first time in a long time that Square has clearly changed its direction, guys, right? So Square was doing this, and now it's doing this. So this is a direction change. This is a trend change. Can it actually do this? The next part of it, can it actually do that? That's the question mark, right? I don't know. It might just continue to go sideways for a very long time. So I'm not quite sure yet, but I wanted to bring this chart up to you guys. I'll let you know that there is a huge potential breakout or a huge resistance point that you could either play to the downside here or see if you start to creep back to the upside. XLF. So XLF was strong again yesterday, guys. Another big push. I would be watching how the financials continue here. This is a very nice financials continuation after the Fed funds rate. You can see another big green day. Bank of America coming back. JP Morgan had a good day. Goldman Sachs had a pretty decent day. Wells Fargo. I think Morgan Stanley had the best day yesterday. You guys can see here. That's actually a very nice support bounce on Morgan Stanley as well. If we go out to the weekly chart, look at that support bounce on MS. Nice support here, 84, 85. Look at the bounce that it's having right now. So financials, guys, keep them on your watch. If you're looking to play some Dow names or just banks in general, XLF is pushing back higher slightly here. JP Morgan, Morgan Stanley, Goldman Sachs, Bank of America, they all look like they're trying to get a little bit of steam. So something I'm watching. We got to see how this develops. Sometimes sometimes banks can really start to lose steam right after they started to catch some momentum. So just be careful. Banks have been a little bit tricky. You guys can see, look at all this movement here in the last few months. Banks were up, right? 1 week. The next 2 weeks, they were straight down. Then the next 2 weeks, they were straight up. Then the next 4 weeks, they were straight down, right? So that's a lot of chop that you really can't get a good handle on. So do they continue on this on this Fed news, or do we get the next 2 weeks straight down? That's just something that we're going to have to wait and see. But there is definitely a nice hold here. 38 on back, and then on the XLF in general, you're starting to get a little bit of a pushback. So something I'd be eyeing as well, XLF. Costco, what a crazy chart and awesome stock this is, man. Look at this stuff. This is sweet. Just a really strong name, guys. Costco with a perfect break and retest. Look at this. Break, retest, 470. Got the break, got the retest. Perfect hold. I mean, to the dollar amount, basically, at the retest level. This is the weekly chart, by the way. I'll go back to the daily. Look at the daily chart. Look at that break and retest. That is something straight out of the textbooks right here. That is quite pretty. That is perfect stuff. Resistance. You break through the resistance. You come back down to it. You hold it as support absolutely perfectly, and you have a nice bounce off of it. Do we get up towards these highs? That is something I would watch. You are literally 2% off all-time highs on Costco. So if there's definitely stocks that are outperforming in this market, and if there is one of those, it is absolutely Costco. Costco's killing it here. See if Costco can continue. It's been strong. It can stay strong. I would look to see if it can push into the 570s. This is a killer name right now, guys. Costco, keep an eye on it. Congrats if anyone took this retest. This is possibly the nicest retest that I've seen in a long time. 3M has a similar chart. Not really. Does it? A little bit different, Cassim. So that's Costco. Nice push. Another stock, just before we go on, this is another ridiculous stock, guys. If anyone owns shares, I'm very happy to own shares in this. But look at that. That is craziness. AbbVie, what a strong name that is. So next, PayPal. Now, this is sort of like that same Square type of idea. It's definitely not something that I would be putting money into right now. Not at all. However, if you do get market strength, does PayPal break over this? This would be the first time that PayPal is able to make a higher high. Or at least break a previous pivot high right here. So this is something that I'm watching right around this 113. Does PayPal get above it? If it does, do we hold it? Can we start to get a push higher? Can we get a push over this gap fill? That's something that I'll be watching, right? PayPal has been dead, and it probably will continue to be. But at least I like to keep an eye on stocks like this when you start to see market, level out a little bit. Can PayPal get over this pivot high right here at 113? That's a big break. We haven't seen reaction like that in PayPal since it started to drop, right? PayPal never made a higher high. It just continued to make lower highs every time. So is it going to get a higher high here? And if it does, can it sort of continue its way higher, maybe into this gap fill? That's something that I am interested in, at least on PayPal. So something I'm watching, it's around this 113 level on PayPal. Can we get above it today? We're rejecting sort of this morning, but that is something that I would be also sort of focusing on here. So before we get into my upstart trade, I just want to sort of go through, guys. I mean, there's a ton of names that if you just sort of go to the daily chart and you just flip through all these charts, there's a ton of names that support, right? So you can see AMD sort of sitting at support there. I know you guys want to see Roku. Roku's starting to bounce, but Roku's too far in a downtrend for me to like here. You can see it's sort of just another little fake bounce into the 20. I would watch the 20 SMA for a lot of stocks, guys. A lot of stocks you should be watching the 20 SMA. There's so many stocks that are just sort of pushing into their 20s and potentially rejecting. Microsoft sort of looks like NVIDIA, like the other big tech names. Nice little hold at 280. Affirm had a big day yesterday, but this is another name sort of like Roku, where you can just see we're probably just pushing into the 20 and maybe get a rejection candle, right? So there's some names that look stronger than others on this push, and the ones that are stronger are the quality names, the big tech, the big guys, Apple, Microsoft, NVIDIA, Tesla. Those are the names that look a little bit stronger. Stocks like Roku still look really weak. Affirm still looks very weak here. I got to look at DraftKings because Henry won't stop putting it in the chat. DraftKings for Henry, still very weak. 20 SMA keeps rejecting. It's I think this is going to be a sort of a stock related move potentially. Some of them go up, some of them don't. Some of them are stronger. I would focus on big tech, guys. If the market does have any strength here, I would focus on big tech. That's what I would focus on more than anything else, in my opinion. I think that's where the opportunity comes in. Big tech, if you get upside, that's a very big if. And I'm not, I'm definitely not saying that that's for sure coming. But that's where I would at least focus I would at least have my focus on those names. Amazon, you got to watch out for support, possibly turning into resistance again, resistance and potential resistance again. So watch out for that on Amazon. And now let's go into my upstart trade. Then we'll go into what you guys want to look at. And then we'll get out of here. Okay, so upstart. Henry, that's it, man. I'm sorry. That's your recommendation for today. So Upstart, we can see that yesterday we had a very nice push in the morning, right? We had a very nice push in the morning. And what I was looking at, I'm going to go ahead and pull it up. So this was what I was looking at yesterday, guys. Here's my Desi Trade section on the Discord. And this is the trade that I got in. March 25th, 125 call for 455. Actually, no, that was the other trade. Hold on. I got in it earlier. Here it is. March 18th, 115 call at $3. I got in for this reason. Look, this is why I got in. You guys see this right here? This little flag pattern, right? Little 5-minute flag. This is the 5-minute chart, and I got into it on, for this 5-minute flag breakout. Now, I had my stop at a 111. That's where I put my stop. 111, it was lower than this 112. I had my stop at 111, and I wanted to take it for that 5-minute flag breakout. Now, I did end up getting stopped out for $94 loser. I got out at 94. So watch for 94. Or I'm sorry, that's what I got out at, $94 loss. But let me show you what ended up happening and what happened on this trade where it ended up being great, but I just had the wrong stop loss. So you guys can see, here's the 5-minute flag that I was targeting. And I had 111 as my stop, which is right around here. Now, why did I have 111 as my stop? If I go to the 1-minute chart, I was looking at the 1-minute chart, and I was sort of looking at the previous highs right here. You guys can see previous highs and previous support. And that was also right around where the VWAP was. So I had my stop at 111 because I figured, hey, 111 looks to be a crucial level. I don't want to see the stop below there. And I want to see if I can catch this 5-minute flag. Now, what happened? What happened to me on this trade? It stopped me out right here at 11 o'clock, and it came down to 110, right? Right at 110 is where it came down to. Now, the 110 level that it came down to, it was not really a level, right? This is a nonsense level. There's no level here at 110. There's no previous high, no previous support. It's sort of just a nonsense level. 111 was the level that actually I think a lot of people were focusing on. And I believe that a lot of people just got stopped out here under 111. And you can see maybe a little witchcraft. Went under the 111, stopped me out, held 110, and then boom, right after I get out, you get the 5-minute flag breakout that I was looking for right here, guys, right? This was the 5-minute flag that I was looking at. You can see it right here. This is when I got in, right, looking for that push, and the 110 was the right stop loss. I guess you could call it a zone. I could have maybe called this an entire zone between 111 and 110, sort of in this area. That could have been my sort of level to watch, which this is sort of a demand zone, yes. So maybe I should have done a little bit better there. But I just wanted to go ahead and share this with you guys. I thought it was an interesting little stop out, something that I'm sure happens to a lot of you guys, and definitely happens to me as well, guys. So just got stopped out there, had the right idea, had the right setup. I love this 5-minute flag setup. Look at what happened after it. Look at that. So I love these 5-minute flags. I'll almost always take them. It's just a matter of if I get my stop loss right, do I give it enough room here? And today or yesterday, I just did not give it enough room. Got out for a $94 loss, and there it went. So just thought I'd share. Very interesting yesterday. I think some of the guys in the chat caught it, but I definitely got stopped out of this one. So unfortunate. So that's that. Let's now go into what you guys want to look at. Let's go to the memberships. All right. So today we got a few tickers, and I'm not opposed to getting out of here early today. So CVX, let's go ahead and take a look at CVX. So CVX, guys, we got a big gap down, right, on the daily chart. Do we fill that gap? Does energy start to catch back up again? That's very possible, up to around 164. So you guys can see 164. Watch that potential gap fill up to 164, and that would be a very nice little trade. So that's something I'd watch. If energy heats up again, if we get more XLE strength, I would look for CVX to push up right up into that 164. That's what I would keep an eye out for. Very nice little gap to potentially fill to the upside. Cat's another name that's been relatively strong. I would watch this towards this 230. Just be careful with this 230. You can clearly see a huge rejection here. So you just don't want to see it reject again there. Right there around 230. So watch out for that. Yeah, what's oil doing today? Nothing much. XLE, we already did look at JP Morgan, but I'll look at it again. I just said about financials, guys, just watch the XLF. JP Morgan sort of pushing into that 20 SMA. Watch out for the 20 to reject. More than anything, you got to see if the XLF can continue. If you're looking at banks, keep an eye on this XLF. See if you can get some more upside here. Just watch out for maybe this 39.40 area as we start to push into here. You know, some previous supply in this area. So watch out for that. But yeah, see if financials can continue today. All right, guys, I'm going to end this early. I think all you need to really focus on today, more than even anything stock specific, is what does the market do? What does the NASDAQ do? Do we hold 14,000? Do we hold the 20 SMA? Can we hold up today, or is today the day we just give everything back, right? This is going to be a very big day. It's going to depend on, it's going to put it's going to make a big difference on what we see next week. So you have a lot of things still going on in the macro picture, a lot of stuff to still worry about. I by no means think that this is going to continue higher just because of this small move. We need to see a lot more breakouts, a lot more pushes to the upside, and a lot more, favorable things going on in the macro picture for us to actually see a market move back higher. I just don't quite see how we get, in a significant upside move. That's tough. A very significant upside move is tough to see, but, a couple weeks of holding and potential green, that is possible. Do we see NASDAQ back at all-time highs this year? That's another big question that a lot of people have been trying to answer. That's something that I can't have a read on yet. But we'll see, guys. We'll see what happens today. I think this is a big day, and I think you should focus in. Make sure you don't put too much risk on the table. Be safe. Be smart. And I hope to see you guys here on Monday. So peace out, guys. Have a great weekend. Go Max.